Back to Randle. Randle crossover goes right at Drummond and throws it down. Finds Randle. Randle in the corner. Harris all over him. Randle step back three, puts it up. Shot. It's good. To Randle. Randle. Kleba in pursuit. Oh, and he slams it down.
Job harassing him on the D.
Randle, nice move, and he slammed.
For the 5th best record in the Eastern Conference, Randle.
Randle, spin, takes Caldwell Pope down on the block. Whoa, what a tough shot.
Randle with his left hand.
Now it's George against Randle. It was Batum on the last possession. Fall away, hit it again. Randle this time goes to the bucket and scores.
He wants that left hand.
Batum, Randle pulls up and scores.
She got a thing for Chanel vintage that dropped before she could speak English. Do you love me or love seeking attention?
What's up, YouTube? It's back in the video. Got show the big body bangers. You got your 22 video. Now, first thing first, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 3K. You know what I'm saying? Today, I'm the build dealer. On the little corner, I'm coming at y'all with this Julius Randle build video. Yes, sir. This was requested. This is the last in our 5 build, series for this one. So I'm going to have to, put a new list up for y'all to vote on because, this is a democracy, obviously. Obviously. But listen, I had fun making this build. It was really interesting. I always like the builds that are a little bit more difficult to make because, with Julius Randle, he's like a power forward that plays like a guard. So it's kind of hard to make that, so it took me a little bit in the builder, but I figured out a build. And I made Julius Randle last year in his all-star season, but it's a lot different than what it is this year. That's all I'm gonna say, and it's a lot better in my opinion. So thanks for suggesting this. I hope y'all like the Russell Westbrook build the other day. I couldn't really post yesterday because I was working on for like 2 hours of sleep. So yeah, there was no way a video was getting out that day. I'm sorry, y'all. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the pie chart that I use for Julius Randle. Yes, sir. So what I did was I used the finishing and shooting pie chart, but the one with more finishing than shooting. See, I wanted to make Julius Randle so that he had enough playmaking in his build, enough ball handling to be a threat on the court. So I didn't need to have playmaking in my pie chart because if you do know that in 2K, if you make a playmaking power forward build, you're going to get a lot less badges and your attributes are going to take a hit. So there's no point in doing it at all. You're going to get a lot of playmaking badges regardless. So keeping that in mind, I just made a build that I knew could do everything on offense, the finishing and shooting build, and with this build, you'll be able to have all the contact dunks outside of the elite ones, so all the pro contact dunks, and you'll be able to have, all that shooting and you'll be able to play make and dribble drive and all that. And for the physical profile, you see I went with the strength and speed because Julius Randle obviously isn't the most athletic person in the league. He's not jumping out the gym, but he is strong, which is how he could get to his spots. And the thing with him is he's a difficult shot maker. Like, he makes difficult shots. And that's his forte because it really gets him out of sticky situations, which is also kind of like his Achilles heel. It's like a double-edged sword. He can make the difficult shots, but he also takes the difficult shots, which isn't always smart. But we'll get into that a little bit later, because obviously his numbers dipped this year. But as you see right here, this build will be an offensive threat. Like, nobody's going to be expecting you, a 6'8" power forward, to come in here playing like a guard. And that's exactly what this build is doing. Obviously, your defense is a little bit bumsky. You're going to be on the defensive end like... help me. You know what I mean? But your defense is high enough to do some damage, and to play well enough to like not get bodied and babied by everybody. But yeah, and you have the 3 defensive rebounding badges to help out a little bit. So don't worry about that too much. We're more focused on the offense. Right here, the offense is your defense on this build. Your offense is your defense. But as you see right here, once you drop in the 6'8", everything goes up. This is why you have the contact dunks. Your driving dunk goes up. Your standing dunk doesn't go down by too much, but your shooting goes up, which is a massive thing, and your ball handling goes up. And you see right here, I crank his weight down a little bit more so that he's a little bit faster because I will be using this build more of a guard. It's going to be more like a guard rather than a power forward because, like I said, Julius Randle plays more like a guard than just a traditional power forward or big type of player. So that's what I was really going for. A 6'8" a player that could play in the post, you know. And for the wingspan, I went with 90, 89, you know, just somewhere around that range, just so that your 3-pointer isn't too low, but it's high enough to do damage. And with a 73-pointer, for example, it's good enough, especially if you hit 99, it'll go up to a 74. And then say you get boost, that's pretty much a 78 3-pointer you're walking around with. So yeah, you're going to be able to do everything on offense with this build. Shoot, drive, dunk on people. I don't know what these shades of are. It is not a good comparison other than like the John Collins one, maybe the Wendell Carter Jr., but no, you know, John Collins is probably the best one, just without the athleticism, you know. So you're gonna see you pretty much can dominate in the post if you want to. You can be a pure post scorer with this build if you choose to, or you just be a pure shooter with this build and a pure playmaker. You know, you can do a lot with this build on the offensive end, but on the defensive end, it's, you know, it's like, I'm sorry, coach. Make sure you have some good teammates that can pick up the defensive slack. But yeah, as you see right here, you're going to see in the gameplay, it plays a lot like Julius Randle. You know, you can do everything that he can. His post game, his dribble drive, his playmaking, his shooting, everything like that. But let's talk about Julius Randle. So last year, he was an all-star. He was an all-star. There's no debate. Like, it's not like Andrew Wiggins this year where Andrew Wiggins somehow is an all-star starter. Like, that was bogus. But that last year, he was a true all-star. He was averaging like 24 points a game, like 10 rebounds, I think, like 5 assists. Like, Mans was doing everything for that Knicks team. Now, this year, his numbers are dropped. I think he's averaging like 19 points a game, maybe like 10, 8 rebounds, like 4 assists. It's like his numbers have dropped. And there's a reasoning why. So a lot of people may attribute it to the fans being back, but I don't think that's it. I think it's Julius Randle's play style that is causing him to dip like this. Because with his play style, he's like a player that will literally look a defender in their eye who's right in front of them and shoot over them. Like, literally, I cannot make this up. He will look the defender and like, bro, you're not even that close to me. You know, I have room to shoot, and shoot it with a hand in his face. So then, you know, toward the end of the game, what he'll shoot like 4 for 11, 4 for 13, you know, 5 for 15, and wonder why. But he may make some clutch shots down the stretch that will the Knicks to the win. But the thing is, that's not how you win basketball. You know, that's not how you play championship winning basketball, because you don't want to be in close games. You don't want to make the game harder for yourself. And Julius Randle makes the game harder for himself. It's amazing that he can make those difficult shots. But I think the next step for him is being able to use his size, his weight, his strength to create open looks for himself and not just shoot over defenders, because he has the ability to. If you're in the NBA, you have the ability to. So yeah, that's all I had to say. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video, y'all. I hope y'all like the build. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I'm out, you know, as usual. Peace.